I'm often asked, what are we actually doing there? Unashamedly Catholic university in a country where there's less than 1% of the population Christian. And my response is, if you go back to more than 2,000 years to when Jesus started his ministry, there were no Christians there at all then. So, my question is, well, what was he trying to do? And if you go to St. John's Gospel, chapter 10, verse 10, it's very clear that I have come that they may have life in all its fullness. And that's what Jesus was on about. That's exactly what Bethlehem University is on about, whether they be Christians or Muslims or no faith at all. What we are trying to do is create an environment there, to develop an atmosphere, and to provide an opportunity for our students to acquire the knowledge, to gain the skills, and then to develop those virtues and attitudes that's going to enable them to grow, to live life as fully as they possibly can. And so that's sort of the thrust of what we're on about, serving the Palestinian people through education. And what we do is using our 5 faculties, education, business, nursing, science and arts, and then our Institute of Hotel Management and Tourism. And it's through those avenues that we provide those opportunities and enable students to get that education. One of the things we're very, very conscious of is the context in which we're existing and in which we've been operating for 50 years. And that context is one that's fraught with challenges for our students, particularly the restrictions on movement. Every exit from Bethlehem has a checkpoint. And then of course the wall that snakes itself around Bethlehem and around Jerusalem, preventing Palestinians from moving. So my position is that when they step onto campus, I want them to know that they are safe, that nobody is going to arrest them on our campus, nobody is going to interrogate them on our campus, nobody's going to put a gun in their face on our campus. It's a safe place for them. But if I can go back to where I started, where there's less than 1% of the population Christian, we have about 20% of the student population are Christian. And for many of our students, I'd say virtually all of our students from Hebron have never met a Christian until they come to Bethlehem University. And I often talk about Ailey, who's a wonderful graduate of ours, but when he was coming to the end of his secondary school, he was determined to get into the Faculty of Business at our place because it's recognised as the best in Palestine. But it was at a Christian university, and he talks about going back and forth because he'd heard all these strange things about Christians. Anyhow, business won out and he came. And he laughs about the fact that after he'd been there a couple of weeks in class with Christians, on the campus with Christians, in the cafeteria with Christians, it suddenly hit him, they're just like me. They're just ordinary people wanting an education here. And in the last year, his best friend was a Christian. And I've met him several times since, and he talks about the impact that being at Bethlehem University had on him. And I thought he was going to say, as a result I came to understand Christians better. No, he didn't say that. What he said was, I've come to appreciate Christians. And the nuances there are quite different. And I think, one of our biggest contributions to Palestine is providing an opportunity for Christians and Muslims to come together over a period of 4 years. And coming to understand and appreciate one another. The concerns I have is the awareness that so many of our students have that because of what's happening, particularly in Ukraine and other parts of the world, that they are forgotten about. So I think for me to tell the students that I did an interview where I asked people to pray for them is going to show them that they are not forgotten. And I think that has a lot to do with keeping hope alive at Bethlehem University. It costs $4,000 a year to have a student at Bethlehem University. So a yearly scholarship is certainly a help to those students. But if they go to our website, bethlehem.edu, they can find under the gifts, there are options there for supporting Bethlehem University financially. But the other thing is, coming back to my first point, that if people are coming on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, to insist, ask, request that pilgrim group come to Bethlehem University, because what that does is show the students that they are not forgotten, because even if they don't engage with some of the students, the fact that they are seen to come on campus shows the students that they are not forgotten, that there are people outside who do remember them. One of the challenges at Bethlehem University is to keep hope alive, and one of the definitions of hope that I find really encouraging is Václav Havel's, the Czech leader, who talks about hope not so much as the conviction that something is going to turn out well, but the certainty that something is worthwhile no matter how it turns out. And I think what we are doing at Bethlehem University is so worthwhile, irrespective of what Israel does, irrespective of what eventually emerges, that to provide the opportunity for young people to grow, to educate themselves, to establish that sense of self, that sense of purpose in their life. That's why I think that definition of hope is so important for me.